I've decided to do this topic at night just to remind myself that nobody's safe. The fact that people can't walk freely at night. If a person decides that they want to go to a store and buy something, the fact that they'll have to fear for their lives tells us something about where we are. Someone could decide to attack me now because I'm holding a camera. This is the kind of world that we live in. Everyone is living in fear. There's a reason why people close their doors at night. They have butlers. They lock their doors. There's a reason why people can't trust strangers. We no longer act in loving ways as humans because we are all traumatized, we are all scared. A person could approach me now asking for help because they really need help. But because of what I know about humanity, I'll be scared to help them. I'll be scared to treat them in a way that every human wants to be treated. And what does that do? It creates separation. Everyone feels alone. They don't look at another person and be like, that's a friend. There's a person that I can count on. There's a person that can help me someday. They look at a person and be like, what can I do to get what I want from them? We steal from each other all the time. Sometimes we just don't acknowledge it. Get into relationships because you want something that someone has. You want their money, you want their property. And you call it love. And it feels like love. But is it? People are so traumatized that they are on survival mode all the time. So you can't expect the world to be a better place if everyone is on survival mode. If everyone is like, how do I protect myself? If everyone is like, how do I prove everyone wrong? Those who have had me, how do I prove them wrong? I came across a video on Facebook 2 days ago. There was a video of this guy who, like a successful businessman, is doing very well in life. He met his high school, not his high school bully, like he's like the guy that bullied him when he was still young, when they were still kids. The guy was homeless. He was not doing well at all. Took a video of him. I think the guy asked him for some money. They took a video of him, mocking him, reminding him of what he'd done to him. And posted the video online. And everyone was mad. I mean, some people weren't mad. Some people felt like what he did was right. Some people felt like what he did was awful. Some people are like, he was just a kid. And some people are like, well, he was also just a kid. We are so traumatized that we can't even feel sympathy for one another. You know, when people have been hurt, they don't act in ways that are loving towards others, even if it's not the people who have hurt them. So imagine how they act towards those who have actually hurt them. And imagine what that does. We are more separated than ever because we've been put in situations where we would have to hurt one another. When you put people in one place who didn't say they wanted to get along with one another, you know, you put kids who are still trying to figure out what life is, who are still trying to understand themselves, you put them in one place and say, yeah, find a way to live together, find a way to do things together, find a way to survive. Of course, people will traumatize each other. It's like putting two pit bulls in one place. Knowing how they are, of course, you know they're gonna rip each other apart. But the way I look at it, everyone, because we are all traumatized, they have their own way of coping with their trauma. Like, we don't know what we're not fully aware what bullying can do to a person. Like, if you bully a person, like, they wake up in the morning, they think of going to school, but they think of you first. Like, how am I going to deal with that person today? That person is gonna want to take my lunchbox from me. That person is gonna make fun of my looks. Like, I don't have peace when I'm at school. You find that you go through that for years. No one understands, right? No one understands your pain. No one understands what that is doing to you. So because now you have done the same publicly, everyone want to blame you. But then if they saw a video of how you were treated and they understood what that did to you, they probably will all be on your side. He wouldn't act the way that he acted if he was treated in ways that human beings should be treated when he was a kid. So it's trauma, right? If people show you love, unless you recycle, but if people show you love, and not because you are better than others, because they can create a narcissist. If everyone is treating everyone like trash, but they're treating you well, you're probably going to become a narcissist. You're going to look down on everyone. You'll be surprised why they treat everyone else like trash and why they treat you well. So you might end up thinking that, hey, that means I'm better. That means that I do not have to return the favor. I don't have to treat people well just because they're treating me well. You're going to start to feel like a king, like someone who should be worshipped. But if he was treated the way that we all want to be treated, no one was laughing at him, even if he was weird. Because when you're still a kid, you're still fragile. You're still learning how the world is. You expect good things because of how maybe your parents are treating you, how your relatives are treating you, how older people are treating you. So you expect love from everyone. I remember when I was 10, 11, somewhere. I had a list, and thinking about it now, I'm like, that was messed up, right? Like, that was actually messed up. But at the time, it felt right. I had a list of people that I thought, hey, you know what? If I had the power to remove these people from earth, I would. I have a long list of people who bullied me. I've not done anything wrong to them, but they bullied me. It's an everyday thing. You're not being bullied by one person, you're being bullied by 5 different people. It does something to you psychologically. It makes you evil. That's why they say, hurt people hurt more people. There's a reason why we don't like snakes. We don't like snakes because we know they will bite us. So if people are biting you every day, you might end up not liking them. Maybe in the beginning you would judge yourself and think that there's something wrong with you, but as time goes on, it's going to be you versus everyone. Like it's so easy to blame a person who is causing harm when you see them causing harm without understanding why they are causing harm. If you have not seen what they had to go through to even reach a point where they don't mind causing harm. And because we're not acting in ways that are loving towards one another as humans, that means that we are harming one another. And it even got to a point where we don't even take accountability. It even got to a point where we're like, this is how it is, suck it up. Like, this is life. You know, everyone is being bullied. I'm pretty sure that someone in the comment wrote that, yeah, everyone is being bullied. Yeah, but we didn't do this, we didn't do that. Yeah, we're different. We don't know. We don't know. Some people hold grudges. I don't really hold grudges. If people change, I forgive them, and I'll explain why. Because I don't think a person who is who has grown is still the same person that they were when they were young. Right? I can't say I'm the same kid that I was when I was like 5. Because I'm different. My views have changed. The way that I feel about things have changed. So, of course, I'm not the same person that I was. People are changing every day. There are things that happen that changes. I'm not the same person that I was last year. There are a lot of things that I don't do that I used to do last year. There are a lot of things that I understand that I didn't understand last year. You know, there's growth. When a person goes to sleep and wake up, there will be something about them that has changed. If they're not an NPC. Because we can't say everyone is not an NPC. Some people don't grow at all. And I would say that the best way to identify an NPC by figuring out like whether they're growing or not. If a person is not growing at all, then yeah, they're an NPC. They're a problem. They're not supposed to grow. But some people do hold grudges. Some people will be like, it's you who did this to me, so I do not care. I'm not going to feel sympathy for you because of what you did to me. It was not easy, and I was still young. Can you blame them? If we're all taken back to the time when we used to get bullied, go through what we were going through back then, it will be very hard for us to forgive our bullies now. And one thing that you must realize about trauma is that it's not something that you actually get rid of. I don't think people actually heal from their traumas. I think people learn to live with their traumas. I think one of the biggest lies that we've been told is that people actually heal from their traumas. What happens is that they learn to live with their traumas. If we don't experience things that traumatize us at all, would actually become the best version of ourselves. Like what actually stands in the way of us becoming the best version of ourselves is trauma. So if you are living in fear, you don't become the best version of yourself. Fear actually stands in the way. And the fear that you might have might be valid, you know. Let's say I'm walking in the street like this, and then someone decides to pull out a gun and they say, give me your camera. Of course, next time when I walk in the street, I'm always gonna be afraid. And I'm gonna like people yet less, way less than I do now. You can't blame a person if they say they're a misanthrope. You're like, the real truth is that we suck. So if a person says they don't like people, you're like, yeah, but we do suck. So we can't really say that we deserve to be liked if we suck. We're supposed to like those who are treating us well. You know, because if we end up liking those who are not treating us well, that's not safe. You will invite an enemy to your house because you like those who are not treating you well, and that is dangerous. But what I do know is that people do change. But there are things that you can do that are irreversible. I remember in 2023, when I was still in the village, I'll go and drink at this other tavern. And there's this guy who used to bully me. He was much older than us when we were in primary school. We're in the same class. I didn't have a place to sit, you know. It was funny. Like, no one wanted to sit with me. Craziest thing ever. Like, it only happened in 2005. The other years, yeah, I always had a place to stay. But in 2005, no one wanted to sit with me. But not really because no one wanted to sit with me. It's because it was funny to everyone that I don't have a place to sit and I don't have anyone to defend me. Because a lot of guys were bigger than me. And yeah, you know that kid that's an easy target. Like, everyone is like, yeah, I can get away with bullying this kid. So it was kind of like that, right? So what ended up happening was that I would get bullied every day. I guess my life changed when I went to high school because the people didn't know me. You know, everyone didn't know. We didn't know one another. And like, people from my village had to stick together. So yeah, no one got bullied when we went to high school. But in primary school, if people felt like you were an easy target, you were not safe. So yeah, because this guy used to bully me like every day, I didn't forget that. I remember Saturday he came to me and he chilled with me and we started talking about girls that were there. Don't you like that one? Don't you like? And we started joking about a lot of things. And I'm like, so this guy forgot. Like, this guy doesn't remember. But it seemed like he doesn't remember that me and him are not friends, because we never were friends, right? I've always looked at him like he was my enemy, because I didn't forget and I didn't feel comfortable around him. That reminded me of how much damage that trauma can cause. Like, I'm unable to feel free around him because of that. That guy, from that day forward, me and him were cool. But still, every time when I see him, I'm still reminded of that. And even if I don't really think of that, it comes back on its own, you know? I just remember that, oh, this is the same guy that used to do this. And that prevents me from acting like the way that, we must act around each other. Like, I'm protecting myself whenever I'm with him, not because there's something that he can do now. Like, now he's much smaller than me. I don't think he can beat me at all. But still, that fear is there. So even if you make yourself forget what you've went through, that doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you. Even if you forget what other people did to you, doesn't mean that it still doesn't affect you. So if as a collective, we're not treating one another in ways that we all can be proud of, what do we expect? We are all traumatized children walking home together. We don't even know where is home. But because of the way that we're treating each other, we're all traumatized. Everyone is traumatized. Even the bullies are traumatized. You see? You find that someone feels like it's fun to bully another person because they themselves are not feeling good. Maybe they themselves are insecure about something. It's not like if a kid is a bully, it means that their life is so good that they decided that, everything is so good in my life, so I must make fun of you because things are not good in your life. It's not even like that. You find that that kid that's bullying other kids, no one really loves him. They're afraid of him. No one really loves him. And as people get older and they're able to defend themselves, because when you're older, it's much easier for you to defend it. Because some kids, in fact, this is what I've realized, the kids that used to be bullies, they were just much bigger than us and they were much more aggressive than us. They were just kind of like ahead of us. So we were scared of them. But as you grow and you become stronger yourself, you're no longer afraid of them. That's why in high school, it was not easy for, like me, I never got bullied in high school. It's because I was able to defend myself. I'm bigger now, I've hit puberty. I'm no longer that small kid that, people can just say whatever to. But yeah, as we got older, you'd realize that those kids that used to bully other kids, no one really likes them. The girls don't like them. Teachers don't like them. They're not doing well at school, like they're not performing well. So you're like, the way that they were, because they were feeling insecure about something. They did feel like people don't really like them. And you might say, what about the kids that everyone liked? No, they're always insecure about something, bro. Always. You see, 5 days ago, this guy who passed away in the street, he like there's these guys here who will take dustbins out, like on a date where there's gonna be like a dustbin truck. I think they get paid to do that. So this guy passed away on the street, and no one seemed to care, right? Everyone would just pass until someone noticed and they called the cops. But even then, like, no one seemed to be affected by that. Like, it's just normal. And I realized that because we are all so traumatized, we don't feel anything when something like that happens. You get the news that someone that you know passed away, you feel nothing because of how traumatized we all are. When you're still young, when they say someone has passed away, yeah, you felt something. Because you felt like, you felt like people were good to each other, right? But as you got older, you realize how mean we are, how selfish we are. You're like, nah. So the love that you had died. That is why it's not easy to help another person now. Like, we don't care because of how we've been treated by other people. When you see another person, especially if it's a person that you don't know, you just don't like them. Even if you do like them, but you cannot trust them because you're trying to stay safe. You know that human beings are capable of causing damage to each other. The fact that if right now I decided to attack someone, I could seriously hurt them. The fact that I'm capable of doing that, they don't have to have done something. That is scary. Because we might, when I tell us, I was like, oh, it's the animals that are dangerous, right? It's the animals. When it tells us that, oh, a lion has managed to escape, stay safe, but it's not animals that, like, we've always been the worst threats to ourselves. Like, we are our own problem. When I'm walking in the street, I'm not thinking about a lion, a snake. Maybe I might think of a dog, but there ain't that many dangerous dogs in South Africa. Unless someone has a pit bull, those things are very dangerous. But I'm thinking of humans. Like, oh, what if someone takes out a knife and say, yo, give me what you have. How do I react? This is what I'm thinking. If I'm thinking that way, how am I going to love people in a way that's complete, in a way that will make them feel safe? It's hard to love a person if you cannot trust them. And the real question is, can we trust anyone in this world? And based on what we see every day happening, it's so hard to trust other people, right? You know, things are messed up if a guy is in love and he's treating his woman the way that she wants to be treated. And we feel like he's a fool. Like, don't you know that at some point you're going to get betrayed? Don't you know that you're setting yourself up? That we end up feeling that way. Like these days, it feels like only the stupid guys love, right? Because no one can be trusted. And what's sad is that maybe some people are trustworthy, but you can never know who is trustworthy. And sometimes when you treat people too well, they ended up taking advantage of you. So it's hard to be loving towards people. I came across on Facebook yesterday of this guy who was saying that you must be careful in the street. He said that he was driving and this other car besides him started to kind of want to block him. And the guy inside, the guy who was driving was like, yo man, your tire. Like he pointed at his tire. But it was like, nah, I ain't stopping. And then the guy drove away, right? The guy drove away. Cool, you're not stopping, I'm trying to help you. I'm gonna drive away. So yeah, he drove away. And another car did the same thing. Pointed at his tire, so he's like, okay, something must be wrong with my tire. And then he stopped his car, and the other car stopped. It seemed like the guy wanted to help, right? Boom. Pull out a gun, pointed at him, kidnapped him, took his car, took his phone, took his wallet. You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of world that we live in. So no one can be trusted. Like, it actually sucks if someone takes something from you that they didn't actually work for, like freely like that. Like, that sucks. And it doesn't make you connect with people more. It makes you connect with them less. That's why we're all traumatized children walking each other home. And along the way, we will be doing a lot of things to each other that we don't like done to us, just because we're all selfish. And the world is actually rewarding selfishness more, So it's hard for people to be selfless. If I'm selfish and I'm being rewarded and things are working out for me because I'm selfish, I'll be like, oh, so this is what works? But when I'm too nice to people, they take advantage of me. So I have to protect myself. When I'm too good to people, people think I'm stupid. So I have to protect myself. When I show love, I don't know if 50% said something like, love will get you killed. In the hood, love will get you killed. And you think that's not true, but no, it is. You show people love and they just think you're weak and you become a target. You're not weak. Not even close. So if we create a society that rewards selfish behavior more, why would people be selfless? If the kid who is quiet, doing his own thing, not messing with anyone, focusing on his schoolwork, listening to the teachers, he doesn't have a problem with anyone, he's harmless. If that kids get bullied and other kids laugh at the one who's getting bullied, and they seem to like the one who's bullying their kid, how will that kid be? It's like if you were, I remember I gave you this example actually. There's this episode of South Park, I think it's called Rainforest something. So there was this lady who loved the rainforest. Like, let's treat animals in the rainforest very well. They're fragile. The nature is fragile. So they ended up in the rainforest and they got lost. They had this guy who was like their guide, but he got killed by an animal. So they got lost and realized how cruel nature is, and they were all scared. So towards the end of the episode, she was like, "Fuck the rainforest." Like she now, so that's how it's like. It's like you are kind to everyone and you expect everyone to be kind to you in this realm, right? But as you get older, you realize how horrible people are toward each other. So you end up being like, fuck everyone, because everyone is horrible to each other. So you become horrible too. You see? Because the world itself is rewarding. When we might not think that that's what's happening, but it is what's happening. People are actually being rewarded for being bad, for being wrong, for being selfish. So they become powerful. And if you allow selfish people to gain power, they're going to create a world where people like them thrive. You see? If you allow corrupt people to get into power, and then they're going to create a world where corrupt people are going to thrive. That's how it works. Because they don't have a problem with corruption. I mean, that's how they got into power in the first place. It's not about fairness to them. It's not about people getting their fair share. They operate the way that they operate. So those who operate the way that they operate, those are the ones who are going to be successful. Do you see what we're doing to one another as humans? As we're walking each other home. As we're all headed towards our death. We are not showing each other love. You know, we don't want to show it. We want to show love when a person has passed on. That's when people will gather together and be like, yeah, he was a nice person. You know, he once did this for me. When you're alive, people don't even thank you. The things that they'll be saying at your funeral, they never even tell you. Right? So you could do something that's very nice to a person. And if you know what? Don't even say these things for you. They say these things so that some people will be like, yeah, that one had the best speech. It's about them. Because if it was about you, they would have said it to you because you are the one who deserve to hear that. It's not other people. I mean, you don't care. You're dead. You're not here anymore. So you don't really care what they say. It's weird how nice people seem at funerals. Like, you give someone a platform to talk, you be like, yo, this person might have loved the person who died. But if you knew how their relationship was, you'd be like, damn. They were given a platform. Maybe it's their brother who passed away. Find out they used to talk shit about their brother all the time. All their friends know that they used to talk shit about their brother all the time. But because, well, they have to talk, it's their brother's funeral, they have to make sure that everyone thinks they're good. We don't even appreciate the people who treat us well in this realm. We take advantage of it. It's the scariest thing that I've realized, bro. Like, we take advantage of those who treat us well. Like, if there's a person who doesn't deserve to be treated badly, is the person who helped you. I never treat people who are kind to me badly. These are the people that I'm like, you know, when I'm in a situation where I could either help a person who's been good to me and a person who's not been good to me, even if there are things that I can benefit by helping that person, I'm going to help the person who's been good to me. That's what makes sense. But human beings are not like that. So much more with this other guy, and I hope this guy took my advice. So he has a car. Two of his exes were at a tavern. The other one is beautiful, very beautiful. The other one is not very beautiful. But when they were in a relationship, she was really good to him. Right? She was really good. She held him down. For real, she really held him down. So two of them are there and they all want him. So he was like, yo man, which girl do I take? I was like, take the one who was kind to you when you were dating. He ended up taking the one that's hot. You know what happened? In the morning she said she wants money. Otherwise she's gonna go to the cops. Like, yeah. I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, you deserve that, like 100%. Like, there isn't been that many situations where someone deserves something, but you 100% deserved it. And we laughed about it, but it was true. He deserved that. Like being nice to those who are nice to you is better. Because that will mean that maybe they're not too damn broken to be kind to other people, and you might actually turn them into everyone else if you don't treat them well. If another person is nice, but because of how you are treating them, they end up changing. Even the nicest people can change. That's something that we must realize, because they're realizing what works, and everyone is surprised. But that one used to be kind. So that one is a robber now. But he used to be kind. Oh, I always knew something was wrong with him. No, there was nothing wrong with that person. It's just that a lot has changed because of what they have experienced. So they end up thinking, hey, maybe this is the kind of life that I must live. Maybe this is the kind of life that's gonna work. What I've realized about people is that they do what works. If they're doing something and it works, that's what they're gonna do. So if being selfish works, that's why a lot of guys now, and a lot of women don't even understand this. A lot of guys are becoming very selfish, right? I don't know why. There are a lot of dating coaches will be telling them that, hey, if you're too nice to a woman, she's gonna take you for granted. She's not gonna like you. You know, she's gonna be attracted, and she can't help it. She's gonna be attracted to the guy that's mean to her. You know, if you're too nice, it means that maybe you don't have options. You know, and a guy without options is unattractive. So she's gonna think, hey, why is this guy too damn nice to me? Oh, hey, no matter what I do, I can get away with it. I can cheat on him, get away with it. I can flirt with other guys, get away with it. She's gonna treat you like trash. So the guy that doesn't love her ends up getting the best treatment. She ends up being more attracted to him than she is to you. So a lot of guys are like, oh, being a nice guy doesn't work. So let's try what works. You see? And women are becoming more traumatized because of that. And people don't understand how that happened. What changed? Because guys used to be nice. I remember one of my favorite comedy shows was a show that what's the name of this guy Eddie Murphy did? I think it's called Delirious. He did that show maybe in 1981. I'm not really sure, but I think it was 1981. So I was saying that guys back in the 60s, if they're driving a car and a woman says something like, yo, let me out the car, you know, blah, 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 the guy will stop the car and be like, nah, we're not gonna have any of that. And he'll be nice to her. But now, when a woman says, let me out the car, he's gonna stop the car and be like, get out. You see, guys are changing. Like, no, being nice doesn't work. Why do I gotta be nice if those who are not nice are the ones who are getting the best treatment? These are the ones who are turning women on. I often tell people that if you want to be treated well by other people, reward them for treating you well. Right? If you want to be treated well by people, reward them for treating you well. Because we make that mistake a lot of taking people for granted who treat us well. And then they end up changing. They end up realizing that their efforts are not appreciated. Because people grow. The social media now, they're also looking for advice. You know, you'll find a lady saying, if a person, doesn't appreciate how you treat them, leave. But okay, I don't feel I'm being appreciated, and then they leave. So reward those who are treating you well. They must know that you appreciate them, because there ain't that many people who are going to treat you well in this realm. Never ever tell yourself that these people are stupid, because that will be stupid. Imagine thinking a person who's treating you well is stupid. Like, really, if you think that, you're the one who's stupid. Because you're basically saying, I don't deserve to be treated well, so don't treat me well. That's what you're basically saying, without even realizing it. Like, no, everyone must treat me like shit because that's what I deserve. I do not know how we can heal ourselves from our traumas. It doesn't seem possible at this point. It seems like we went too far as a collective and there's no going back. It seems like we've went too far as a collective. So no matter what we do at this point, it's not going to work. People are so used to being mean to each other. And even if they weren't used to that, they can't trust each other. So they will naturally be mean. I mean, of course, if you don't trust the person, you're not going to treat them well. And they'll sense that you're not treating them well. Ever treated someone badly because you don't trust them? And because of that, they're hurt. But this person should trust me. Like, yeah, why should they trust you? I've been in situations where I was treated bad by a person because they don't trust me. But I'm like, okay, I'm harmless, so you should trust me. So from my perspective, that person was mean, but they're not. They were not mean. They were scared. Because they know what human beings are capable of. So no matter what we try to do, we end up traumatizing one another. What sucks is that we are capable of harming one another easily. And that sucks. Imagine if we were incapable of hating one another. This reminds me of the TV series Westworld. So they created a world where those who or powerful, like can go into and do whatever they want with the robots that they created that live in that world. But some of them became conscious. So you find that they will do whatever they want with the robots. They look like humans, 100% like humans, but they were robots. They will kill them, and then they will get repaired and then brought back to life, have their memories wiped, and the whole nonsense will continue. The robots wouldn't be able to harm those people who pay money to go to Westworld. You find that even if they try to shoot them, they won't be able to. So it'll only be the guys who pay to go there who would actually be able to head the robot. So I can imagine if the world was like that, like we weren't capable of hating one another. But nah, it's not like that. Nobody's safe. So how can people not be traumatized? I guess you can't blame anyone for being the way that they are in a room like this. I try not to blame people. I try to understand them, why they do the things that they do, why they think the way that they think. Thank you all guys for watching until the end. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me what topics you'd like me to cover, and I'll do an episode where I'm covering the topics that you want me to cover. Thank you.